Did you ever want to make your own drone? Well, when most of us 3D print, we think about printing one part at a time. Maybe it's a prototype, maybe it's a replacement part, or maybe it's something for a project. But what if you could print production-ready carbon fiber parts that feel like they're ready right out of the gate? I'm Brian DeLuca, and this is MakerBuildIt, where we turn ideas into projects. And today we're talking to impossible objects and seeing how they make drone parts. This is actually a really unique way of 3D printing, not in the conventional sense, but it's a completely different approach to additive manufacturing that combines carbon fiber composite, industrial scale production, and speeds that are hard to believe. We're talking drones, we're talking airplane parts at an insane production level. Now let's take a look.
I'm Brian DeLuca. I am here at Rapid TC with Steve Hoover from Impossible Objects. Steve, we saw these drones and airplane wings when we were walking by, and we kind of stopped in and see what you guys were doing.
Well, Brian, we're really glad you stopped by. I got to tell you, we have developed a brand new to the world 3D printing process. Okay. So we're a company that makes the printers.
Okay.
And we make the materials that you use, and we sell you those, and we'll also make parts for you. And what's different and better about our process is a couple of things. First of all, we make parts out of carbon fiber composite with long fibers.
Okay.
So stronger, lighter, stiffer than really anything else that you can get 3D printed. And we make them incredibly fast. What I say is we put the manufacturing in additive manufacturing because of our speed. One of the guys, we're 15 times faster than the fastest competitor. And one of the person on the team came up with a great analogy that I love. You know, 15 a big number, what does that mean? 15 times faster is the speed difference between the fastest human running the mile and a Formula One car in a straightaway.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
That's a different race.
Yeah.
So what are people doing with this new technology? One of the things is drones. So here's an example of a quadcopter where we've printed all the mechanical parts, right? You still gotta get your electronics and your batteries. We're not printing those, but all the mechanical parts, stiff, strong, lightweight. And I'm gonna ask you a question. What would you guess the time it takes we can print one of these every X time? How long?
I would say hour and a half, 2 hours.
How about 50 seconds?
Oh.
50 seconds print time.
The type of printers I have.
Yeah. Well, by the way, we make industrial equipment, right? This is stuff that sits on a factory floor. Our printer's 24 foot long, 7.5 foot tall. You know, it's $1 million. But this is a piece of production machinery. And it does take, it's the analogy when I say one a minute, it's like a Ford F-150. One comes off the assembly line every minute. That Ford F-150 started 8 hours ago.
Yes.
So we're about 12 hours from start to finish, but once you get going, one of these comes out every minute. And so we've been pretty successful with these, and you can see we go from the small to larger. When we come down here, I'll show you something that's really cool. I'm going to ask you, Brian, to hold this, and I want you to tell me what you think when you hold it.
It's very light, so light I almost
yeah, it's crazy, right?
Wow, it's
so
nothing.
It weighs nothing. That whole plane there, drone, that's a drone, that weighs about 4 pounds.
Wow.
So lightweight, stiff and strong, and it's carbon fiber. And we do some really interesting things. We actually print the carbon fiber flat, and then we can roll it into a tube. We actually make this wing surface that way and make stiffening ribs that we print inside.
So you're printing everything in here, the ribs?
Everything. Yep. Here's a tube with the stiffening ribs, and again, feel how stiff and strong that is.
And same thing, very light.
Very light, stiff, strong, and that's in the drone world. That's somebody once told me a gram is a second of flight time.
Yeah.
So every gram you save is a second of flight time, and so it makes a big difference. And so we've been getting a lot of interest. We've got a partner, Titan Dynamics, who's designing these drones with us. We are selling drone parts to a variety of companies I can't name. And we have an order for a new machine with the Army.
Okay.
So they're buying a machine to make 10,000 drones a month. So we're doing pretty well in this market.
Now, you mentioned the machine was 24 feet long?
24 foot long.
24 foot long. Is there anything you could show us in that process?
Yeah, sure, we can show you. Why don't we walk around here, we'll show you how it works. So let me tell you how this works. As I said, it's a brand new process, new to the world. Not for those of you folks who follow 3D printing, which I gather everybody on your show probably does.
Yep.
You know, it's not FDM, it's not SLS, it's not UV curing. So what is it? How does it work? Well, we start with large sheets of carbon fiber.
Okay.
They're non-woven fabric made out of carbon. And what we do is you're going to run that sheet of carbon fiber under an array of inkjet heads.
Okay.
And this is one of the reasons we're so fast. It's full width array. So we have a roll of carbon fiber that's 20 inches wide. We have 22,000 inkjet nozzles.
Wow.
That carbon fiber runs under that array of nozzles, and we print the pattern you want on that layer. We're like all 3D printing systems. We print a layer and then a layer and a layer. We print that with ink. The ink is mostly water.
Okay.
It's not a glue, it's nothing, it's water, a few little things to make it work just right. But and then what we do is we put the plastic down, because a composite is carbon fiber and a plastic. We put the plastic down as a powder.
That's a thing.
And we just flood the sheet with powder, put it everywhere. And then we run that sheet under a vacuum nozzle.
Okay.
And where the powder got wet, it sticks. So it's kind of like if you did glitter and glue with your kids,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then you shake it off.
Yeah.
And so you end up, so this is what a layer looks like.
Okay.
And that's one of those drones we're making, full of drone parts. Couple of things. The print time for this layer, this entire layer, the print area is about 18 inches by 18 inches, is under 4 seconds.
Wow.
So, and we make the layers are 60 microns thick.
Okay.
So we get pretty high tolerance parts. And what we do in the printer then is, this honestly looks a lot like a 2D printer, a book printer.
Okay.
We print a layer, and then we print the next layer. And we stack them like you would stack the sheets in a book. So this is an example of a build that would hold 75 of those drones I showed you.
Wow. Okay.
Are in this block, and that would take about just over an hour
Okay.
to print that.
And then how is this brought down to the drone parts themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's another tricky part in this process, right? So when we're done at the printing step, what you've got is powder in the shape of parts on carbon fiber. Now, one of the reasons we're so fast is because we printed that at room temperature. But how do you make it apart? Well, what you do is pretty simple. You actually take this whole build block and you put it in a heated press.
Okay.
And you raise that build block above the melting point of the polymer, of the plastic.
Okay.
So it is now a liquid, right? And so real important, it's not sintered because we actually melt it. And then you compress it. And this big build block becomes this. And now that polymer, when it's liquid, right, it wraps around those carbon fibers. So we have a true composite. Again, it's not sintered, it's not a laminate, it's a true composite. And the parts then are trapped inside, and you cool it. Obviously, you got to cool it. But when it cools, it solidifies. And if you come in here, you can see the parts. This is partially sandblasted away.
Okay.
What we do is the excess carbon fiber, you just sandblast out.
Okay.
And it comes out very easily. It's very friable, and you're left with your parts inside. And so that's the process. And that's kind of that, like I said, that journey of this build block, you know, might take 12 hours.
Gotcha.
But because an hour of print time and then 12 hours in the press, in the heated press. So for a manufacturer, they'll have 3, 4, 5 heated presses. They'll be taking a build block out, putting it in this heated press, putting it in that, until you keep that assembly line going.
And is this the standard build block size, or can you make them bigger?
We can make them up to 36-inch tall in their unformed stage, and it's about a 9-to-1 compression. So that 36-inch becomes 4-inch tall build block of parts. So we can make up to about 4-inch tall finished parts. So 18 by 18 by 4 is kind of the maximum size part that we can make.
Oh, Steve, this is really cool stuff that you're doing. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys coming by.
I had to admit, when Steve from Impossible Objects started telling me they're producing a drone every minute, I was a little skeptical. But after seeing the process, the materials, and just how lightweight and rigid these parts are, it's clear it simply isn't just another variation on 3D printing. Impossible Objects is doing something really unique here in additive manufacturing. Now, is this something you're going to put in your garage next to your 3D printers? Absolutely not. But often technologies start in the military or industrial space and make their way into your maker workshop. For more on 3D printing, DIY, or maker projects, make sure you like and follow MakerBuildIt. And remember, keep on making. Oh, and remember, the future of manufacturing isn't just faster, it's smarter, stronger, and lighter.